Well, now, my friends, I would like to tell you about our next guest, and I'd like to tell you about who is standing behind that curtain. First of all, we have a man who holds the national junior college broad jumping record of 25 feet, 6 1/4 inches. Then we have a fellow who was the state tennis champion of his division in California. Then a young man who was ping pong champion of his troop in the Army. We also have a fellow who was an All-American football player at UCLA. I'm also going to introduce a basketball player who led Pacific Coast Conference in scoring for 2 consecutive years, 1940, 1941. I also want you to meet a fellow who shot a 71 in golf just a few days ago. Now, will all of you champion athletes please come out and meet our audience? You come out, please. Yay! This is all of those fellows who I mentioned, and of course has played a little baseball in his time, too, Jackie Robinson. Jackie, grab a stool, friend. Those of you who rushed out, as I did yesterday, and bought a copy of Look magazine, and if you didn't buy a copy of Look, you'd no doubt heard the repercussions in the paper, and you know that Jackie Robinson is now the most talked about athlete in America, because he declared his intentions in yesterday's Look magazine as having finished his baseball career and taking on a job as an executive. An executive of what sort and with whom, Jack?
Well, I'm vice president in charge of personnel for Chock Full O Nuts, a restaurant chain here. They have a coffee factory and a bakery over in Jersey, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with the organization.
Well, they ought to be real proud to get you, my friends. You've got just a tremendous record. I tell you what we decided to do tonight. We know that there's so many people in America who have reacted with their own hearts to this Jackie Robinson story that we thought we would not play I've Got a Secret, but we'd invent a new game just for him. And the name of this game is I've Got No Secrets. Instead of having a panel of 4, we will have a panel of approximately 700. Those are the folks in our studio audience. In our studio audience at the moment are the members of our panel with hand microphones, Jayne Meadows and Bill and Faye and Henry in the balcony. So we will allow you, Mr. Robinson will allow you to ask him any questions you want about anything you'd like to know from him. All you have to do is raise your hand, and somebody with a microphone standing near to you will grab hold of you, and we'll start the questions. The first hand that I see going up is the lady in here. Can we get a microphone into her, Jane? Will you pass the microphone down to this young lady, please?
Yes, could you pass that down? And would you give your name and your question?
All right, and when we get to you, young lady, will you tell us what your name is, please?
My name is Ruth Cunningham, and I would like to know if Jackie Robinson will miss playing baseball.
Yes, I'm sure that I'll miss it very much. I love the game of baseball, and I love what baseball has done for me. I appreciate all the wonderful contacts I've made out of it, but I think at 38 that I have to start thinking about my future, and I think I'm doing that in associating myself with Look magazine and Chock Full O Nuts.
You know what fractures me? He says he's quitting baseball because he's getting too old. You're 38, Jack?
I'll be 38 at the end of the month, yes.
I'll be 42 at the end of the month. What do you think this does to an old man like me, having you talking about you being too young? Bill Cullen, have you got hold of somebody over there?
Yes, I have, Gary. I have a fellow from Chicago, Illinois, by the name of Harry Rosenfield. Harry?
Ask him to stand up, please. He's kind of back in the shadows. Yes, Harry, what would you like to know?
I'd like to know is how come you quit the Giants instead of playing, this year, going with the Giants? You said in the paper, it said that you might play with the Giants for this year.
Oh, the point was, why did he pick the Giants to play with?
No, why did he quit? He said his manager told him that he talked to a club, Mr. Business place that he's going to work for, and they said that he agreed with him to play this year for the Giants.
I don't think that I've ever said that I would play this year for the Giants. I naturally had to evade some questions when I was asked about what was going to happen next year. I did that simply because of the fact that I felt I had a moral obligation to Look magazine not to reveal the exclusive story that they had paid for some 3 years ago. I think that if I did have a moral obligation to the New York Giants, that obligation ended when I asked Mr. Feeney if he would withhold the story until January 10th so that I could make up my mind definitely, and I would give him an answer as of January the 10th. Mr. Feeney has been very, very nice about that, and I appreciate the way that he has accepted my resignation from baseball or my retirement.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, Faye, up in the balcony, please. Faye, what is the gentleman's name?
Gary, I have for Jackie Mr. Michael Manning of New York City who'd like to ask his question. Mr. Manning?
Jackie, frankly speaking, to what extent was the fact that you were traded to the Giants a factor in your decision to retire?
It had absolutely nothing to do with my decision. I had signed a contract with Mr. Black 10 minutes before I knew that I had been traded. So the trade had absolutely nothing to do with my decision.
Mr. Black is the gentleman who's with the restaurant chain.
He is the president of Chock Full O Nuts.
Yeah. All right, that answers that question, and once and for all, I guess. Now, Henry, who you have with you, please?
I have a gentleman with me, Gary, but Jackie, I want to ask a question. Somebody made the statement, I think it was Mr. Bavesi of Brooklyn, that all these years the newspapermen have been so nice to you and that you were not nice to them. Now, I had always thought that all these years the newspapers were pretty mean to you. What do you think?
Well, I think I have an awful lot of friends among the newspaper men. I appreciate that friendship. There have been occasions when we differed. There have been occasions when I deserved the knocks that I received from the newspaper men, and I certainly had no regrets. The only time I regretted when a newspaper man knocked me when I thought that I was right. And when I feel that I'm right, then I don't care too much about the knocks that I receive, because when I'm wrong, I know it down here, and I don't have to wait for the newspapers to tell me whether I'm right or wrong.
Well said.
And Henry, before getting to your friend, I must say this. We talk about, anybody said that Jackie is not nice to the newspaper man. We were sitting around here just about 20 minutes before showtime, and about 6 of them came bursting in the stage door at a time when Jackie had his mind on the show, and sure enough, up they went to my dressing room, and they sat around there, and he has been being grilled for the last 20 minutes, even until the time the show went on the air. So that should answer that question. Now, the gentleman, please.
Oh, I got so interested I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Why don't you give your name and your question?
My name is Vince Caristi. Jack, did the fact that you were traded to the Giants have any bearing on your retirement?
I think that was asked.
That was asked.
That question's already been asked over here on the other side. Yes. Do you have another question?
All right, I'll ask another question.
No, Henry.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Let's get down to Jayne
We
Meadows,
have a
please.
Mr. Bolnick, Jackie, of Skokie, Illinois.
Yes, at the end of a very brilliant career, I would like to ask Jackie what he feels was the most important major league game he's ever played in.
I would think that the final game of the regular season in 1951 against the Philadelphia Phillies, it's a game that will always stand out in my mind.
Was that the game that ended in the tie season? Was that the one where Brooklyn came from behind, and as I recall, you made a very brilliant stop and then later a home run that won the game for Brooklyn?
That's the game, but I like to forget what happened in the playoffs.
Now, very quickly, let's get over to Joe Brown. We've got 30 seconds.
from
I
Los
think you should
Angeles,
have
yes.
the last say here.
Thank you. Jackie, I've known you, of course, since you reported at UCLA as a freshman. We've been pretty good friends, and you're a great athlete, and I'm not going to ask how heavy you are, but who do you think is the greatest general manager in the major leagues today? Of course, you know that Joel is with Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, there's no question in my mind about Joel being the greatest.
He's the greatest. Fine. You're the greatest.
Jackie, we're out of time. A million thanks to you for being with us tonight. I'm sure that everyone agrees with me when I say we wish you nothing but the best of luck on a very courageous decision. And so until next week, friends, at the same time, this will be Garry Moore saying bye-bye for all of us. Be very kind to each other, will you? And goodbye out there.
Travel arrangements for I've Got a Secret are made through United Airlines. United Airlines flies our contestants in fast new DC-7 mainliners. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Miss Meadows down by Sorrell. This is John Cannon speaking.